Pompey Sound, your hourly update from Fratton Park. Sponsored by Piglet's Pantry, the home of award-winning and handmade food on the South Coast.
John Messino is today focusing his attention on Tom Waddingham, but on the Australian football setup in general.
We love the A-League, absolutely love it. Clearly the A-League is played at a different tempo, the climate is different. Living and playing, operating out of Australia is very, very different to what Tom has experienced coming over here, but he has adjusted really well. The training load is something we need to get him used to because, when we stick Tom out on the training pitch, he doesn't hold back, he is all action, he is at it. Every second of every minute of training. We've had to adjust that a couple of times. He's had a couple of issues with his groin and then hamstring, which is more overload than anything else. That is not an action issue. Once he gets used to the training levels, he will be fine. He's made an impact, ended up playing games, scored against West Brom, and is way ahead of where we thought he would be. Physically, Tom now has a big summer ahead of him, so he needs to make sure he's fully prepped for that and come back and challenge pre-season.
This is all good news, isn't it? Does it mean that we won't need to buy another striker to go along, or acquire another striker to go alongside or support or replace if he should get suspended or, God forbid, injured, Colby Bishop? No, we'll still need somebody, surely. What John Messino is saying here is that the lad is, and he is a real lad, power to him for coming halfway around the world, uprooting himself from family and neighbourhood and friends and in, neighbouring environments, comfortable environments, and setting out to the other side of the world to make a name for himself, and hopefully that's exactly what he's going to do. And John Messino is handling him carefully. He gives interviews, he grants words about his players because he wants the players to hear what he has to say about them and his players to enjoy knowing that the public, the fans, are reading those same things about him. It boosts confidence. It makes a player believe in himself even more, and you have to believe in yourself to be a professional footballer, big time. And if you go to a place such as, let me pick a random example, Hull, and your confidence is hull below the waterline by whatever, then it's a long way back. So Messino and the coaching staff are dealing with him well, dealing with the fact that the training is, I guess what John Messino is saying is that much more intense. You just run that much more, you stretch that much more, and in training games, you go at it that much more. And this is necessary in order to achieve 100% match fitness, or hover just below that during the pre-season. So he's getting that message across to the player himself. I don't know if I detected, did you, that he wants Waddingham just to take the top edge off his all-action style when training. Maybe, maybe not. And there was one other phrase that I didn't quite grasp. He said that the little injuries that Waddingham has picked up is not an action issue. Does that mean that he's saying that it's not something that happened as an impact thing when he was in action? Or is it got to do with the action of training, the stretching, the bending and the twisting and the stop-start of it? I don't know. But what we can take from what John Messino is saying about Waddingham, Tom Waddingham, is that he, and this must be music to his ears, certainly music to fans' ears, he is ahead of schedule. But I think the implication, reading between the lines, is he's not yet ready to be our frontline number 9. We will need to have somebody else in the building, as everyone likes to say these days, in time for the start of the season, to be either alongside or to stand in for Colby Bishop. Sam Stone joined us today on Pompey Sound, and I asked him whether he thought Pompey were likely to bring in anybody during this first mini transfer window that we're already 2 or 3 days into.
I wouldn't be surprised if we got a couple of signings through the door. I think Rich Hughes, and I think since Rich Hughes and Messino and Cullen have been at the club, it feels like transfer rumours haven't been as, you'd often see a little a murmuring on social media, or one of the local journos would post a little teaser for us fans to get excited about. I think since they've been at the club, they've been a bit more tight-lipped along that, and they've been whoever the mole is, they've been silenced. So I think from that end, I wouldn't be surprised if something just popped up out of the blue. I think 2 years ago we signed 3 or 4 players on the first day of the transfer window, and there'd been no rumours about that. So I think they can come out of nowhere. I wouldn't be surprised if they've been working hard behind the scenes. We know how astute Richard Hughes is in the transfer market, and as I said earlier, the fact that we've kind of got a lot of players who haven't really played for us through injury, and they're coming back into the team.
Thanks, Sam. Yeah, time will tell, obviously. We've only got a few days left, 6 or 7 or 8 days left on this mini transfer window before there's a break of, is it a week or 10 days, and then the real thing kicks in. But if Pompey have been talking to somebody, and it's somebody that they've made their mind up that regardless they want part of the squad, they want to be part of the squad, then there's absolutely no reason why they couldn't get them in today, tomorrow, the day after, so that that player can begin to get used to the Pompey way, the way John Messina wants the game to be played, get used to the building and where to park his car and how to get from the changing room to the pitch and all those sorts of things which help a little bit, but every little bit helps. So if we've got anybody lined up, we might just have a very enjoyable news item around the corner. The football news agency Football League World is talking about the Pompey support and in particular the extremely high and impressive season ticket sales.
Portsmouth are preparing for another campaign in the Championship after securing survival last season. After winning the League One title in the 2023-24 season, Portsmouth made a slow start to life back in the Championship last term, and they sat bottom of the table in early November with just 9 points to their name. With Pompey already 6 points from safety at that stage, relegation was looking like a realistic possibility, but John Messina's side slowly began to pull away from danger as they found their feet in the second tier. It was not all plain sailing for Portsmouth in the second half of the season, and their poor away form threatened to drag them back towards danger, but they eventually finished the campaign in 16th place, 5 points clear of the relegation zone. With Pompey now firmly established back in the Championship, excitement is high among the Fratton Park faithful about what could be ahead next season, and that is underlined by the club's strong season ticket sales. After the turbulent times they have experienced over the past 2 decades, Pompey had an average attendance of 20,259 last season, an increase of almost 2,000 from their League One title-winning campaign, and that meant that every game at Fratton Park was a virtual sellout. The first indication that similar attendance numbers could be repeated next season came when the club revealed that over 7,800 supporters had purchased season tickets in the first full week of sales last month, and that total has now almost doubled. Ahead of the closure of the renewal window on Tuesday afternoon, Portsmouth confirmed that more than 14,000 fans had bought season tickets for the upcoming campaign, and that's despite an increase in prices.
Yeah, very positive piece in FLW, so thank you for that, folks. But just a note of caution. I think that the indication that there is a tremendous belief that next season is going to be special should be tempered by the fact that we probably will spend less than anybody else on transfers and on salaries. Our squad will be valued lower than probably everybody else, with possible exception of Oxford United, Charlton, than anybody else in the Championship. We will have great home form. Let's hope we can match that home form of last season. The season's just ended. With what we do in the season that's coming, we've got to climb a mountain away from home. We know that. Hopefully people cleverer than the rest of us at Fratton Park are trying to work out how to do that. If that is done, then it could be a spectacularly good season. In other words, we will relish being just inside the top half of the table. That would do us fine. Flirt with the playoffs, yes. Get through to the 5th or even the 6th round of the FA Cup, yes. And that will be a spectacularly good season. And it's with that kind of optimism that 14,000 people, 14,000 Pompey fans have taken the plunge, dug deep into their pockets. Times are hard. Well done, all of you 14,000. And those of you who haven't been able to stretch to it for whatever reason, but will be turning up when you can on match day or whatever, power to you as well, because the ground will be full from the start of the season to the finish. The ground will be full, depending, of course, on how many travelling away supporters there are. So we'll be packed to the gunnels. The noise will be deafening. I've even considered getting a decibel measurer. You can buy these things for your mobile phone. What can't you buy for your mobile phone? And seeing what the decibels are like when Fratton Park is really thumping. So, here's to the coming season. But let's not let our enthusiastic optimism run away with us too far. We really don't want to look at the league table and scroll down on our phones and down a bit further because we're given a rough fixture list to start with. Remember last season? We do not want at the beginning of October to be scrolling down to the bottom of our phone screen to see where we are in the table. Thank you very much. So fingers crossed. Everything crossed. 2025-26. Here we come.